If you're a parent with little ones in diapers, but you think he or she is ready to take it to the next level, then welcome to the exciting world of potty training. Oftentimes frustrating, sometimes humorous, teaching your toddler to use the toilet takes time, patience, and a little bit of wisdom. Here to offer tips on knowing when your child is ready, as well as how to train them to go, is parenting educator Diana Boggia. Hi, Diana.
Hi.
How are you?
Very good.
So this is fun. Fun and frustrating for many.
Fun and frustrating.
It was very frustrating for me. Thankfully, I'm over it.
Yes.
So what would you say is the age that you should start potty training, or what are some clear signs
I think that
they're
you can look to see if your child is ready after about 2.5, and children show different signs. They are all emotionally and developmentally different. So although one child may train at 2.5, another child might not be ready till 3.
No kidding.
It's very important not to push it.
That's a really good point. So if my first child had it, nailed down very early on, don't be forcing that on my second one.
Absolutely not.
It could be a totally different game for that
Totally different child.
Okay.
Yes.
And same boys versus girls, developmentally different?
Developmentally different. You just really need to be in tune to your child and look for when they're receptive.
Okay, which would be, what are some of the signs that I would be seeing?
Well, some of the signs are when you feel that if they're pulling off their diapers, they're indicating that they're wet, they're uncomfortable. Those are signs to perhaps introduce a potty into the bathroom.
Got it. So they're starting to notice that it's not comfortable, it's not pleasant, I don't like this.
Exactly.
I think I might start to be ready for this
Yes.
step.
Yes.
Okay. Now, what are some of the steps that I should take when beginning to potty train?
Well, one of the first things is to put a potty in the bathroom. Potties really belong in the bathroom. Some families put them in kitchens or different rooms of the house just for accessibility.
Okay.
But I will say it's best if children know that that's where they belong.
Place to go.
And to then take your child in every time you use the potty and talk, matter-of-factly about what's happening. This is the normal body function. This is what we all do. You can also talk about who else in the house uses a bathroom or what other friends or cousins use the bathroom. In other words, you're just normalizing it. You can also...
I know you were saying that some of the things I should avoid. What about those?
The things you avoid are by saying diapers are for babies.
Okay.
That's very, we often do that when we're trying to really prompt our children to get out of diapers. But by saying that, children, although they want to grow up and use the potty, they also want to be babied.
Right.
So you're almost encouraging that, saying, oh, I really could be a baby. Avoid saying... diapers are for babies, but you can say, diapers are so uncomfortable, they feel yucky, sometimes you can get a rash, and so those, you're just really encouraging them to use the potty.
Okay, and I know you also say that being indifferent, if they're, don't be forcing it on them.
Absolutely. When you are training them and you need to train them, offer to take them to the bathroom in the morning when they get up, after and before baths, and when before you leave the house. But when children use the potty and actually are successful, total enthusiasm. Oh my gosh, you must be so proud of yourself. You really need to let them know they should be quite proud of themselves.
Great.
However, on the opposite, when they don't go, when they're not successful, you really need to show indifference. Not disappointment, but just kind of like, oh, well, that's okay.
No biggie.
No big deal.
Don't show that it's bothering you or like, oh, you didn't go,
that's
or
really
browbeat
critical
them.
in potty training. If a child can sense that it's critical or so important for a parent, then they hold the power. And you really don't want them to know that it really matters to you.
So maybe that's where I might have went wrong a little bit there with my daughter. So just acting different, like it's no big deal.
No big deal.
No biggie. Okay. Now, do you train girls differently than boys?
Well, there are a few different strategies. Boys, you can train them obviously to stand or to sit, whatever they're more comfortable with. There's a lot of peer pressure when they get to preschool, so boys should know how to stand when they go. One of the great little tricks for boys is that you can put just a little piece of toilet paper in the potty and do a ready, aim, fire kind of thing. It makes it more fun.
That's fun. Or the Cheerios, right? That's always
I haven't tried the Cheerios.
No, I've heard about that. And my sister did a different technique in the summertime where she just let them run around and they figured it out. So I guess there is a lot of techniques for that.
Yes, there are.
Now, how about girls? Just Pretty much standard sitting on the potty.
Standard sitting on the potty, making them comfortable.
And excited, I guess, about it.
Very, yes.
All right. Now, so, okay, if I'm starting to see success with my child throughout the day, what about the nighttime? How do we handle that, and is that the same?
It's not the same. Children are, they take much longer to night train because they're drinking throughout the day.
Got it.
When you want to start to think about training during the night, you need to cut fluids from 5 or 6 o'clock on, but you can't say, now you can only have a tiny little sip now because we don't want you to, you really can't focus on that.
Got it.
But you can just offer little sips when they're thirsty, and you just need to be cognizant that you're offering much less. And also when children take baths, they tend to drink the bath water, drink from the spout. So, well, you know, as the water's coming out sometimes. So you really need to pay attention to what they're taking in.
Got it. So limiting that is a good thing. And
yes.
Now, do I keep the diapers on, though, at night?
Keep the diapers on until they're dry for at least a couple of weeks. They need to be really successful.
Good. Now, do you have any tips to make it fun? Well, how do we make it fun for them?
How do you make it fun?
Well, do you make it fun?
One thing that I found very successful was to just get a big colorful basket to put by the potty seat, and in the basket were items like wipes, fresh, colorful underwear, pull-ups, so that you're telling the child it's really okay if you want to go back into pull-ups. You know, in other words, you're giving them the power,
the choices,
potty books, something like that you can read stories while they're sitting there, whatever. But it's their own basket, and they have a sense of ownership.
This is my little domain here.
Exactly.
And that's always fun.
Yes.
Just like we do with the papers.
Yes.
Do the same thing. Now, how do we handle potty training when I'm not at home and I'm on trips? What do we do with that?
Well, first of all, you offer to use the bathroom before you leave the house. That should be kind of a house rule. Everybody goes to the bathroom before you leave the house.
Yep.
There are different strategies that you can do. You can take a potty in your car. Some people might be opposed to that, but I happen to have found it very successful that if we were in a store, you can just run out if you have an SUV or where there's privacy. And that makes a child feel secure. You can also, there are collapsible little potties that you can take in your bag with you, that you can use a public restroom. And if you're going to be doing that, I would suggest that you actually use that portable, collapsible little potty in your own home, so that so that your child is very comfortable. They know that seat. It's not a foreign.
This is mine.
That's right.
And I take this with me. And that's a fun game for them.
There you go. Yep.
They'll be asking you every 5 minutes.
And that's wonderful. And don't get frustrated with it. Like, oh my gosh, we just went. Go every time they want to go.
That's great. I like that. So just keep going with it. And how about regression? I know sometimes they actually learn and then they go backwards and then they stop.
Oftentimes there's regression, and it depends on what's happening in a household. There can be a new baby born. There can be stressors in a house where there's, conflict or divorce or something like that, and there will be regression. Again, you just got to go with it. Don't show any kind of disappointment. Don't show a lot of empathy, like, oh my gosh, you must be so stressed out. That's why, because now you're giving
reinforcement to that behavior,
to having accidents. So it's really kind of indifference. That's okay.
When we're ready, we'll...
Exactly. And you can also, if there is tremendous regression, you can just pull the potty out of the bathroom and say to the child, you know what, it looks like you're really not ready to do this, and that's okay, so we're just going to put the potty away. Let me know when you want to try it again.
And you said that regression...
you're empowering the child.
Okay, so then you also said that regression also could be a traumatic experience within the household, an illness or something like that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that could be a trigger for the child to go backwards.
Yes.
So the key is just to not make a big deal of it. Say,
the indifference is critical.
That's
the enthusiasm when they're successful, but the indifference, it's really okay.
That is the
big
ticket.
Oh well. That's the
big
ticket.
Oh well is the indifference. Now, what do I do on the last note? What if they just refuse and they just do not want to do it?
Then don't push it.
Then don't
stop.
push it. Okay.
That's when you need to stop, and that's why parents will say it took forever, there's accidents all over the place. It's because the child holds the power. We cannot force our children to go. And when they see that it matters to you,
even more control.
There's a hot spot, I can push mom's buttons. So it's very important to just, at that point, take the potty out of the bathroom. It's really okay, honey. Whenever you're ready, you let me know, and empower them. Since they have the power anyway. They have the power anyway. You might as well give it to them. And when you turn it over, then they think, you know what, maybe I might do that.
There you go.
Yes.
Then they take control into their own hands again.
Exactly.
And it's good for everybody.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Diana, thank you so much for being here.
Oh,
I
it was my
appreciate
pleasure. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Great.